Okay, if you're thinking about becoming a Japanese citizen, I bet there's one thing that's probably causing you more stress than anything else: the language test. It's a huge source of anxiety for so many people. But you know what? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and demystify the whole thing for you.
So this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How good does your Japanese actually have to be? Do you need to be some kind of literary genius? Do they expect you to know thousands of kanji? The worry around this can be absolutely paralyzing. But the reality, well, it's way more manageable than you'd think.
Get ready for this because this is probably the most important thing you'll hear. The official standard is not business-level fluency. It's not the super advanced JLPT N1. The bar is set at the level of a 7 or 8-year-old kid. Basically, can you handle everyday life? For all you folks who know the JLPT levels, we're talking roughly N3, maybe N4 territory. That's it. So what does elementary level really mean for an adult who's learning Japanese? It's not about using childish words or anything like that. No, it's all about proving you've mastered the absolute foundational building blocks of the language.
This is where it all gets a lot less scary, because it's not some vague concept of fluency. It's a checklist. Can you read and write hiragana and katakana? Yep. Do you know 100 or 2 of the most common kanji? Okay. Can you string together a few simple sentences about yourself? Can you answer easy questions? See? These are all very specific, very achievable goals.
Of course, the Legal Affairs Bureau, that's the government office handling all this, isn't just going to take your word for it. They need to see the proof. And they check these skills using 2 main things: a pretty short written test and a super important document that you write yourself. And listen, the written test is not designed to trick you. Not at all. It's just a straightforward check to make sure you've got those fundamentals down. It's usually just a couple of very simple, predictable tasks. For instance, they might ask you to write a few sentences about your life in Japan. They're not looking for a beautiful essay. They're looking for something clear, simple, and personal, just like this. This shows you can communicate your own experiences in a basic way.
And look at these other tasks. This really shows you how focused they are on the basics. You'll probably have to write a katakana word in hiragana, or write the little pronunciation guides, the furigana, above some basic kanji. It's all about making sure you have a rock-solid grasp of the absolute basics.
Now, this next part is a big one. It's called the Statement of Motivation, or Dokisho. This is not just some form you fill out. You have to write this yourself, in your own words. And yeah, it's your chance to tell your story, but it's also a major test of your writing skills. The case officer is going to look at it closely for grammar and kanji, and you can bet they're going to ask you questions about it in your interview.
Okay, so you've got the writing part down. Now let's talk about the interview. This is where a little bit of nuance can make a huge difference. Because it's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. Showing that you understand politeness and respect is absolutely key.
I mean, just think about it for a second. An interview with a government official is a pretty formal situation, right? The words you choose are a signal. They show that you understand Japanese social cues and that you respect the whole process. Getting this right shows you're integrated on a level that goes way beyond just what's in a textbook.
Let's look at a classic example. The 2 words for because, kara and nota. You use kara all the time with friends. It's direct, it's casual, but nota? Nota is softer, it's more polite, it's respectful. It's perfect for a formal interview. It kind of softens the reason you're giving, so it sounds less like a blunt excuse and more like a polite explanation.
And here's the perfect example of that in action. Saying you can't go to a meeting with kara sounds a little too blunt, almost demanding. But just switching to node completely changes the feel. It becomes this gentle, respectful statement. That tiny little change shows a massive amount of social and language awareness. And believe me, that's exactly the kind of thing an interviewer will pick up on.
So, what's your path to success here? It's actually pretty clear. First, just master the basics. Get that hiragana, katakana, and basic kanji locked down. Then, practice writing simple little things about your life. And when you're getting ready for that interview, don't just think about what you're gonna say, think about the polite grammar you're gonna use to say it.
Because in the end, that's what this is all really about, isn't it? The language requirement isn't just some random obstacle they put in your way. It's their way of seeing if you can function and truly be a part of society here. It's about showing that you don't just understand the words, but you get the culture behind them, and that you're genuinely ready to build a life in Japan. I really hope this helps you on your journey.